I got access to multiple alpha models from OpenAI, and we're gonna review them today. Let's get into it. So I got access to Plugins, which is already a few weeks old, but I haven't done a review on it. You've probably already seen it out there, but I wanna do my own review. I also got GPT 3.5 with browsing, and that actually means you can have GPT 3.5 go out, read websites, and come back with information. We also have the GPT-4 version of that. So the really powerful GPT-4 model, but it can go out and now has all the information of the internet rather than being cut off at September 2021. And then just a few days ago, I got access to Code Interpreter, which is an insane tool for anybody who does data analysis, coding, and it can do so much. Let's take a look. First, we're gonna look at plugins. So this is the plugin store. You can kind of think of this as the app store. If ChatGPT is the iPhone, the plugin store is the app store. And really, OpenAI is positioning itself to be an ecosystem, which is an incredibly smart move. They have a ton of existing plugins and they're adding more each week. And here are some of the most popular ones. They have Kayak, which is the travel search website. OpenTable, which allows you to make bookings at restaurants. Wolfram Alpha, which is like computation and math. Instacart allows you to put together grocery lists and actually order them. Expedia, the travel site. Zapier, which allows you to connect different companies' APIs together to create new functionality in really interesting ways. So the first thing to note is that you can actually only select 3 plugins to be enabled at any given time. So the ones we're going to be working with are OpenTable, Expedia, and Instacart. So let's give it a try. Let's have ChatGPT help us with travel. I want to travel to Europe, but I'm not sure where to go sometime in July. So it's probably not yet going to be using the Expedia plugin because this is not actually anything that the Expedia plugin can do, but I'm going to have a conversation with ChatGPT and it's going to help me figure out where I can go. And then it's going to start pulling from the Expedia plugin. Let's take a look. So that's exciting. Europe has so many wonderful destinations to explore. And it gives me a few options here: Paris, France, Rome, Barcelona, Amsterdam. Let's go to Amsterdam. Great choice. Amsterdam is a beautiful and vibrant city with a lot to offer. Let's find you a place. Could you provide me with the dates? And there it is. So now you can see it's starting to use Expedia. And if you hit this down caret, you can actually see what it's doing and the data being passed back and forth. Let me find you some lodging options in Amsterdam for a 3-day stay in July. So there it goes. It used Expedia again. And all of this information is being pulled by Expedia. So it gives me the hotel rating, the guest rating, the average nightly price, and it seems like it's giving me a range of prices to choose from. Let's say I want to do a luxury trip to Amsterdam. Show me luxury hotel options. And again, it's probably, yep, there it is. It's going to go back to Expedia and start to filter by probably price range and star rating of a hotel. Certainly, here are some luxury 5-star hotel options in Amsterdam, Netherlands for a 3-day stay. Okay, what do you think about these luxury hotel options? Let's go with number 2. Excellent choice. Dilla Europe Amsterdam is a luxurious 5-star hotel located in the heart of Amsterdam. And here we go. We can actually book our stay by clicking this link. Let's go ahead and click it and see what it gives us. And so here it is. It brings us to the booking page. We can choose our room, gives us pictures. It's a gorgeous hotel. Very cool. Let's go back to ChatGPT now. And it says, now that we found your lodging, would you like to book flights? Yes, I would like a first class non-stop flight. And it looks like we got an error, so let's try that again. Regenerate response. Now I have noticed I get errors quite often, but you just hit regenerate response and it works after that. Sure, to find the best first class nonstop flights option for you, I'll need to know your departure city. Okay, so let's say we're gonna be leaving from San Francisco. Again, it's pinging Expedia. Okay, so there's an error. Trying it again. Thank you for providing your departure city. I found a few nonstop flights and here we go. Departing at 150. 10-hour duration, price per ticket's $1,300, and it's gonna keep giving me more. So that is the Expedia plugin. Let's try one more. I'm gonna click new chat, and this time we're gonna use the Instacart plugin. Create me a healthy meal for 2 days and put together a grocery list. Here's a healthy meal plan for 2 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a grocery list. So here it is. Day 1, Greek yogurt parfait for breakfast, grilled chicken for lunch, baked salmon for dinner. Day 2, there's the grocery list. Hopefully at the end of this, it gives me an Instacart link where I can go buy all of this in one click. Would you like me to create an Instacart shopping list for these ingredients? Yes. There it goes, using Instacart. Let's take a look at what the actual data says. So this is the request it's putting together to Instacart. It's going to put together a title and all the ingredients that I'm looking for. And then hopefully at the end, it gives me a link where I can go buy that. All right, and there it is. Let's click it. And there it is. Healthy meal plan for 2 days, all the groceries I need to buy, and I can buy it right away from Instacart. Next, let's try web browsing. So we have the option of GPT 3.5 or GPT-4 with web browsing. Obviously, we're going to do GPT-4. So one of the biggest issues with ChatGPT is the fact that its knowledge gets cut off at a certain date. And the only way to give it additional information is to provide that context in the prompt itself. Now you can actually just give it websites and it'll go grab that information. So here's the Generative Agents Interactive Simulacra of Human Behavior paper. Previously, to get a summary of this, I would have to highlight, copy, and paste in sections because it would be too big for a single prompt, and then it would spit out eventually a summary of it. But now I'm just gonna highlight, copy paste the URL, go back to ChatGPT with web browsing, and I'm gonna say, give me a summary of this research paper, and I'm gonna go ahead and paste that URL in there. So there it is, browsing, clicking on the link. Let's click through and see what it's actually doing. So it clicked on the link, it's thinking, it's probably scraping the information right now, reading content, thinking, scrolling down. So it's actually telling you step by step how it is browsing it. It is literally browsing it like a human would. Not only is it looking at that research paper, but it's clicking links, going to those links, and seeing what those web pages are. Here we even see some errors, reading content failed, still working. There we go, and it finished. The research paper titled Generative Agents Interactive Simulacra of Human Behavior was written by researchers from Stanford and Google, published 2023, and it's giving me a summary of it with references to specific parts of it. And now that I've done that, I can probably ask questions about it. So let's do that. How many agents lived in the simulated world? The answer should be 25. Let's see if it gets it right. Reading content failed. So it looks like this is having some problems now. I would have thought that since it already read the entire contents of that research paper, it would still have that context, but apparently not. It still got it right though. The simulated world in the study was populated by 25 generative agents. So although it had a bunch of errors, it did actually get the answer right. Very impressive. And so you can just start to imagine all of the possibilities now that you can just point ChatGPT to a website. You can probably have it do so many cool things. Scrape data, put together summaries, translate. The possibilities are really endless. Now, last, we're gonna check out Code Interpreter, which is a model in alpha that I just got access to a couple days ago. And what Code Interpreter allows you to do is upload any file and it will basically write code to help you interpret whatever's in that file. So a few examples could be if you wanted to upload a CSV with a bunch of data in it, you can actually ask it questions about the data. You can have it provide graphs and visuals for that data. And it actually writes Python code to do so. So you say, hey, put together a chart for this set of data, and it writes a Python script to do so. Let's give it a try. So I've downloaded a data set from Kaggle.com all about Lego sets. And I've already uploaded it. Code Interpreter is looking at it now, and let's see what we can do with it. Great, it looks like you've uploaded a file named sets.csv. Let's start by loading the contents of the file so that we can take a closer look at the data. We're using the pandas library to read the CSV into a data frame. The columns are set num, name, year, theme ID, and num parts. Let's actually take a look at the CSV so you can get a sense of what it is. So here it is. We have the set number. We have the name of the Lego set, the year it was released, the theme ID, and the number of parts. Now let's go back to ChatGPT, Code Interpreter, and see what we could do with that. Show me a graph of the number of parts per set over time. To visualize the number of parts per set over time, we can create a scatter plot with the year of release on the x-axis and the number of parts on the y-axis. Okay, let's take a look at what it's doing. So here we go. It's actually writing the Python code in real time to do that. And there it is, number of parts per set over time. Now, what you can see from this data is that as time progresses, the number of parts per set increases. So let's say I want more information about that. What is the rate of increase of parts per set over time? To calculate the rate of increase of parts per set over time, we can perform a linear regression analysis on the data. So basically what I'm asking is, after each year, how many more parts per set on average we're there. Let's take a look at the Python code being written. There it is, 2.86. So every year that progresses, 2.86 more parts are added per set. Now let's ask it one more thing. How many sets were released per year? Show me in a line graph. So what possibly took people a lot of time to put together these charts can be done in seconds with no Excel skills, no graph skills whatsoever. I think data scientists are probably going to be using this quite heavily. Here we go. So from 1950 all the way to a little bit before 2020, look at that graph. So more and more sets were released per year as the years progressed. So Code Interpreter does more than just analyzing data. You can actually upload code to it as well and ask questions about it, have it extend the code, write tests for the code. So I've just uploaded code from one of the projects I'm working on. Let's see what it can do. I see that you've uploaded a Python file named memory.py. Let's take a look at the contents of the file so we can understand what the code does. And it appears to contain a Python module with code that involves memory management and score normalization. So that's right. However, the content provided is not complete. It only seems to be a portion of the code. That's right. It's just one file of a code base. So let's ask it to do something. What are the method names in the file? And of course, like always, it is just writing Python. It's writing a Python script to actually get that information. So there it is. Those are the method names. So Code Interpreter is absolutely incredible. Apply for the alpha. I hope you get it. You probably do need to be paying for ChatGPT, which is 20 bucks a month, but the amount of functionality you get for that $20 a month is absolutely worth it if you can afford it. If you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.